My name is David. My world is blood and fire. I was once a phone salesman, a road warrior, searching for a righteous comedy quiz to make a podcast out of.
Is this enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare.
Hello and welcome to episode 43 of Is This Enough? The really brilliant game show that is both brilliant and excellent. This is a very special episode of Is This Enough? As all the rounds are about the film Mad Max Fury Road. Yay! Mad Max franchise is an anomaly in cinema to be marveled at, I think, because in a world where they're pumping out sequels trying to recapture the magic of the first film, Mad Max as a franchise is amazing because the first film is bad and the rest are brilliant. Wow! It's the exception that proves the rule. Also, I don't know if you've noticed this, James, but they've managed to make a good film starring Nicholas Hoult. Wow!
Who knew it could be done?
Who knew? We've made up 3 rounds for each other. Neither of us knows what the other has prepared. Along the way, we'll have some prizes and some forfeits. With me, as ever, is comedian, actor, painter, and milk mother, James O'Donoghue.
Witness me.
Witness me. Last time, James won and became the Marquis of Bedminster, which means that the milk they produce is oat milk. I, however, lost and became the Baroness of Bedwetting, which is not to be confused with soaking.
Oh.
We hope you play along at home. Please let us know your scores via Is This Enough Pod on the social medias. James, would you like to know the prizes and forfeits for this episode?
Yes.
Good, I'm glad, because I was going to tell you anyway. James, if you win this episode 43 of Is This Enough, you will win and receive a blood transfusion from Tom Hardy.
Oh.
Pretty strong blood. James, if you lose episode 43 of Is This Enough, you are cursed to say that your favourite Mad Max film is the first one within 10 minutes of meeting someone.
Oh.
You know when you meet someone for the first time and you have to say that within the first 10 minutes, which means that everybody for the rest of your life is going to be like, he does bring up that first Mad Max film a lot.
Yeah. Particularly if they've not seen it.
Yeah. Did he mention the Mad Max film? Weird.
It's like in America where, like, if someone on the sex offenders register moves into your neighborhood, they have to introduce themselves.
Well, James, I didn't play the theme tune yet, so I'm going to allow the fact that you sort of disobeyed it, but...
Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife. Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife.
James, do you think this will be enough?
I reckon so, David. I've got a feeling in the pit of my tank car.
James, let's find out together. It's over to me for round 1.
Round 1.
James, round 1 is, of course, called Maximum Knowledge. James is bracing themselves like they're in a car chase. Are these a name of a character in Mad Max Fury Road or a type of medicine/pain relief available at all good chemists and some of the bad ones? The characters in Mad Max have some wacky post-apocalyptic names.
I love them.
But when you've been driving around the desert all day, you might have indigestion. So, do you ask for the character or the medicine? James, it's character or pain relief. Are you excited?
Yes.
Are you confident?
Yes.
Okay. This is for 500 whole points a question. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Question number 1, Nux. Is Nux pain relief or a character?
Nux is a war boy. Nux is a character. He's a little war boy. He's driving around doing war crimes.
I once heard somebody refer to Pierre Novelli is a war boy, but not in the same way as this. Just somebody that sort of like ends up bringing up old wars quite a lot.
Also, Pierre Novelli will every now and then just spray chrome on his face and drive into a tank.
Say, witness me.
Yeah.
And then you go see a show and you think, that is a very good show.
You
Anyway,
go, what a lovely day.
That was really good. That is, of course, correct, James. That is 500 points. Nux was Nicholas Holt's character. Question number 2, Movicol.
Movicol is that's a pain relief, surely.
Any guesses as to what kind of pain relief it could be?
Titty pain.
Nearly. It's constipation relief.
Oh,
that's another 500 points to you there. Question number 3, Morsov.
Morsov, I reckon, is a character.
Any particular character in particular?
I reckon works in the bullet farm.
You're wrong about that. He is another one of the war boys. It's the guy that sprays his mouth. It's played by Chris Patton, not that one. So another 500 points to you there. You're so good at discerning whether they're characters or pain relief. Question number 4, Nexium.
Okay, Nexium sounds like it should be a character, but that tells me that it's going to be a pain relief. It's going to be like for your neck.
That's heartburn medication, but that's fine.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Your neck is connected to
your heart.
Question number 5 is capable medicine or a character?
Capable is one of Immortan Joe's brides.
It's good, but it does sound like some kind of like stop me having diarrhea sort of medication.
Yes, it does. I've taken
feel capable with capable.
The advert is just kind of people doing sports.
Yeah. When you want to feel capable, try capable. Question number 6, Cheeto.
Oh, I reckon Cheeto's a character. Cheeto's a real bloody character, I'll tell you that for free.
Correct, it's another one of Morton Joe's wives. Pyrocom.
Oh, Pyrocom or cum?
I mean, Pyrocom is probably...
Pyrocom is definitely a character.
You need to delete that from your internet search history immediately.
What are you into, babe? I'm into Pyrocom. Oh,
I mean,
God.
we can keep... I don't know if this is keeping it light. My friend saw a cabaret show at the Edinburgh Fringe this year where a man stuck a fire stick,
an Amazon Fire Stick.
And let me tell you, he has been playing pirated stuff. No, he stuck a stick with fire on the end of it somewhere into his body. Pyrocom.
That's a medicine.
It is. It's a gastro-resistance tablet. So very, very good. James, this could be a clean sweep for you here. You've got one left. Is Colpamin a character or medicine? You've done so well.
I'm going to say medicine. It's a medicine that makes you culpable.
Colpamin is IBS relief. James, that's 100% correct. I'm so proud of you. That's 4,000 points. It's over to you for round 2.
Round 2.
Well. David, round 2 is called What Could Possibly Go Wrong? David, did you know that making any film ever is a real arseache, particularly this one? Just about anything that could go wrong did go wrong to a crazy extent. Here are a list of things that may or may not have gone wrong. If you think they are true, let me know. If they are not true, let me know. They are all worth 2,000.
I'm trying to get my camera back in focus. That's why I keep on covering, because it won't focus on my face for some odd reason. There we go. Nearly. Carry on.
These are all worth 2,015 points. The year that Fury Road came out.
Yay!
David, number 1, climate change.
Did climate change affect the production? Ooh. Did it cause climate change? Is that what you're asking? Or are
Yes.
you asking?
That amount of vehicles.
I mean, obviously, yes.
Obviously, yes. As in, that's your guess?
Yeah.
Correct, David, because they were originally going to film in Broken Hill in Australia. Then it
Mhm.
rained unexpectedly, because it doesn't tend to, which made the desert bloom. Very fun.
Mm.
Very fun. David,
Good for the desert, bad for filmmaking.
very, very bad for filmmaking. Probably bad news for everyone. Question 2. Mel Gibson. Did he make this film go wrong?
Well, I know that he was supposed to do it, and then he said some things that he shouldn't have said.
Some naughty, naughty things.
I would like to argue, which might lose me the points, that he made this film go right by not being in it.
Ah, very good. Very good. David, I'm going to give you 2016 points for that. Of course, he had fallen out of favor because of his controversial opinions, meaning that the role was recast. Or as I wrote here, Mel Gibson, yeah, nah. Question 3. Mel
Which is a famous
Gibson's,
Australian phrase.
yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
Right.
Question 3. Mel Gibson's wife.
Oh, who is Mel Gibson's wife? I'm just trying to think about Mel Gibson's wife, but all I can think about is like all the characters who have played his partners in like films. Like, it's amazing that he was in Mad Max and also in What Women Want, in which some sparks falling on him meant that he could read women's minds for a bit.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Let's go with yes. Mel Gibson's wife did make this film more difficult.
David, absolutely, she did, because when filming Relocated to Namibia, she wanted to know if there were any Muslims there.
It's amazing that they found each other.
Question 4. Stunts.
Yes, I know what happened here. I'll let you tell. But yes.
Yeah, we don't need to. We're going to just put the points in and move straight on.
If you like, everybody.
How everyone involved in in any of these films don't die during every one of these films is a fucking miracle. And finally, the 11th of September 2001.
It did. I know for a fact that it did.
Yes. Due to the dollar tanking in the stock market, the cost of production skyrocketed, meaning that it was one of the many victims of the war on terror. And these days, it would be a victim of the war on woke if they ever made a Mad Max film these days. Not that I went to see the one this year, because I don't engage in things. Well, David, at the end of that round, you are steaming ahead with a whopping 10,076 points.
I want that blood transfusion. I want it.
Well, David, you may indeed be on to something here, because we're going to go into round 3.
Round 3. My space. James, how do I recover from starting the sentence too early? James, round 3 is called How Do You Feel About Mad Max Fury Road? James, how do you feel about Mad Max Fury Road?
David, I fucking love this film.
Yeah.
I fucking love this. The last few films we've talked about on this, we've had Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, we've had the Labyrinth, and I admired elements of them, but this was fucking sick. This is great. I remember the trailer came out, and I saw it in a cinema, and I had no connection or hype about Mad Max. And it's like a Morton Joe screaming like, "It is by my hand," and crazy shit happening, and fucking Nux going, "What a day!" And I'm like, "What in the fuck is this?" So I sat down to watch it eventually, and it's one of those films that takes 2 seconds to watch. Like,
Yeah.
you sit down, it starts, and 2 seconds later, it's the end of the film, and you go, "Oh." It does
I have that
not.
with the best Edinburgh shows, like best comedy shows I've ever seen, like an hour-long show. It's when you're like, because sometimes you're like, I assume they're about halfway through, and you look at the watch and they've done like 20 minutes, and you're like, ah, shit. And sometimes you go, I think we're about halfway through, and they're like, oh, they got 10 minutes left, and you're like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Not because you like want it to be over, but you're just like, oh, this was
just
so good,
went
it
at a
just sailed
pace.
through. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing, and it's such a big swing, and it's such a sort of particularly when it came out 2015, we're kind of at the height of Marvel. We're at the Star Wars sequels just starting to kind of like ramp up, and
The same year that the highest grossing films were Force Awakens and Jurassic World, basically.
yeah. Now, and
We're
this
just
is in that
delving into
same,
reboot series.
and this is doing the same thing. This is a legacy sequel, but it's the same director. And fair enough of going, we're going to make Mad Max 1, 2, and 3, and then Babe, Pig in the City, Happy Feet, and then come back and do Mad Max. And everyone was like, no one's crying out for a new Mad Max film at this point. And he goes, oh, aren't you? Well, fuck you, and look at these colors and have a fucking visual aesthetic that is inspired not by action films, but by the works of JMW Turner. Have like these massive sweeping shots of the Australian outback that is like already post-apocalyptic, and it's just fucking crazy. And it's also the fact that it's got so much in it that they he had this whole extra saga planned because he's just made a world, and it was like, okay, I'll just plonk myself and the audience anywhere in this world, and I'll know what's going to happen. It's incredible. It's incredible. I watched it and I was like, I was like, my dad's gonna like this. I said, yeah, have you seen the new Mad Max film? He's like, Mad Max, as if. And then I put it on, and same thing, like 2 minutes or like 2 hours later, and he's like, oh my god, it's great.
So good. Oh, wonderful. Well, James, because of your fantastic opinions, I'm going to give you 5,000 points and a little kiss. James, at the end of that round, you're on 9,000 points. I'm on 10,076 points. It's over to... No, wait. Yeah. No, it's over to you for round 4. I lost the ability to remember what the fuck was happening for a second.
Round 4.
I now know what's happening, but only for a second. Where am I? Sorry.
Water there, excuse me. Just
Welcome to the hydration section.
I have become addicted to water and resent its absence. David, round 4 is called How Are You Feeling About Mad Max Fury Road?
Shite. No, it's fucking great.
What a fucking shite film.
Shite. The cars are unrealistic. Let me tell you, James, this film was fucking excellent. When we were discussing doing some specials based on films, we've got some other ideas as well. Put those little feelers out there.
Little breadcrumbs.
We listed a bunch of stuff that we might do an episode on, and James listed Mad Max Fury Road, and at that point I'd only seen the first 3, and I was like, oh no, because I haven't seen it, but I want to see it. And then when we were like, what's the next one you want to do? And in the intervening time, I finally watched it. I'm so excited. I might have told you, James, but I will reiterate my history with this film. I'd always seen, like, my first sort of experience, I think, with Mad Max as a whole is the Wild Boys video by Duran Duran. Basically them recreating the Thunderdome from Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome.
they basically sing that song in this as well.
Mm.
As,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. Really weird. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I thought that this series was basically schlock. And this was in 2014. So
Mm.
it's probably when the trailer for the new one had come out and people were like, this is going to be great. And I was weighing up whether to watch some very dumb, silly film or no, it was a film I wanted to watch that was probably quite serious or Mad Max. Because I thought I was getting Tina Turner, schlocky, Beyond Thunderdome,
Yeah.
Mad Max. I watched the first one, which I don't think you've seen, have you, James?
No, I've seen enough where it's like, okay, this is like a low budget exploitation revenge thriller.
It's so grim. It just is upsetting. I turned it off before the end because I genuinely was just upset.
Yeah.
And I've refused to watch any more Mad Max films for 10 years, but kept on being told that the others were great. And people were like, it's not like the first one, but it took me 10 years to get there. Finally watched the second one, which I watched just being like, well, we'll give it a go. And it blew my fucking mind. And I love it because the first one was made for tuppence and made back like a million billion squillion pounds. So the next one they made for still quite low budget, but bigger and better, more fun, just better. The world building's fantastic. The characters are amazing. The third one is also very good, a bit more ridiculous. There are elements of it that are like some of the best in the series, and there are elements of it that are fucking stupid. But I love the whole thing, and I thought it was great. And so I was building up, and the main reason I kind of got back into it because people have been telling me that Fury Road was so good. I actually nearly didn't watch Fury Road for a while just because I enjoyed 2 so much, and people were like, well, Mad Max Fury Road is better than 2, and I'm like, can't be because 2's amazing.
Yeah.
But fuck me, this film is great. I really like the fact that like having made low budget films for the previous 3, he was like, what if I had a budget and could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do? And he's like one of those rare people that if you just allowed them to do whatever the fuck they want, they actually make something good. They're not Dan Aykroyd who needs somebody with him to like be like, calm the fuck down, Dan. Did you know that the Blues Brothers was originally going to be 11 films, and each film was going to be about an original band member? And I don't know if you've ever heard anything about the film Nothing But Trouble, but he is mental.
It's safe to say that I don't enjoy the oeuvre of the SNL lads.
Oh, I mean, my favorite film is Wayne's World, so I would disagree. But
That's fine.
I think it's so vast. It's like saying it's like jazz, right? There's so much in it that's just like, what the fuck is that? And then amongst it, you're like, oh, this is one of my favorite things ever. But you have to like wade through a load of stuff, being like, I don't understand. I don't like. Oh, that one's good. And it's just whether you can be bothered to wade through because there's some fucking fantastic things in there, but there's loads of not.
Similarly to jazz, Coneheads was also banned by the Nazi Party.
Anyway, I love Mad Max Fury Road. It's so great. I love that it's a self-contained story. I love that it is technically a reboot sequel that came out in the middle of the height of reboot sequels, but it's like, like do it properly and make it good. Don't make it a remember this, remember
There's
that.
so little do you remember in it. There's
0 member berries. It's not like, and that's how this happened, or like, and that little boy grew up to be this person.
It's great.
Or like, that's how he got his mustache. It's none of that.
It's also so much of it kind of doesn't make sense to the point where you have to imagine it as like a story being told by an old guy with tattoos on his face. Because
yes, I've heard somebody describing this as the original lot seemed very like wacky and otherworldly until this came out, and now the first 3 seemed very gritty and realistic.
Yeah, well, like the first one is like society's basically still intact. People are living in houses. And then by like the second one, it's kind of like we're in the wastelands and everything's crazy. And then this is sort of like there are old people there who can only just about remember the before times, and Max is like, "Oh yeah, I remember them." It's like, you are 40.
Yeah.
Are you keeping alive by eating them rats and lizards?
Yes, but unlike everybody else, I will say everyone else has been with other people and they've been trying to survive and they're making new lives together. Whereas all Max has done is be around on his own, just be with his thoughts and of everybody he hasn't saved. Like I don't, it's quite. He doesn't immediately just jump into the truck with the wives who are escaping because he's like, I don't trust anyone and I don't want anyone to trust me because I don't want anyone to rely on me and I don't want to rely on anyone else because every time I've done that, it's gone fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's such a good like character building. I just think the world building this is fantastic. It's fucking ridiculous, but it's that level of ridiculous that's just kind of like I can go with this because it's either stuff that you're like, oh shit, or it's like fun. Like
Yeah.
there's some really grim sort of stuff that's kind of alluded to without it being like in your face. And you're like, fuck, but you get enough of it that you're like, oh my god, there are stakes.
It's
Of like people don't have enough blood, so they get another person blood transfusion to them. The main guy has just got a bunch of women that he's impregnating, and that's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But they also have like
And he's-
cool cranes and a big like water supply thing.
and
they've
he's
managed-
like covered in warts and
yeah,
stuff. There's also you've not seen the one that came after this,
I'm
Furiosa.
excited. No spoilers.
It's really good. There's got one of my favorite shots in it is the back of someone who's about to ride out on like this ridiculous set of motorbikes that have been welded together to look like a chariot and horses, and like someone is reading the owner's manual like it's a holy text.
Nice.
And like and it's like, oh fuck yeah, no, I fucking love this. I fucking love this
Yeah.
stupid world that you've committed to. This is great. And it's
unlike-
also, you give us a language for stuff and you don't explain what it is. And I prefer that because sometimes, particularly in like that wave of like young adult dystopian stuff, it's like, we call these the rampy boys. It's like, these are ramps. You just call them ramps.
Yeah.
We call these the slammers. That is a wall, my friend.
Yeah, context clues and stuff is great. Soft world building, which is I prefer, which is your same as your Terry Pratchett's and your Studio Ghibli's.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like we need a whole separate Silmarillion to explain why somebody's got an axe or something. It's just kind of like there's water coming out of that thing. This guy's managed to monetize this and create a slave culture.
Yeah.
And some people are trying to escape this slave culture. There's a guy that's on the run who's then been captured by these people, and then shit goes down. And you also can't tell who, because so many people die, and also like Mad Max isn't necessarily the main character in any of these films other than the first one.
No, he's just there. He's about.
Anyone could die, anyone can get it, but not in a grim Game of Thrones way. In a like, oh shit! Like there's like it's fucking wonderful. I love all the way all the cars are made and how they are preposterous but awesome. It's not like looking at a transformer in the new Michael Bay films where you're like, that is preposterous, but it's not fun to look at. It's like the sort of lads on poles like springing back and forth.
Real Looney Tunes logic. The guys on poles, the fucking guitarist.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Who is a famous guitarist as well.
Yeah.
Which I love. And I'm very excited to see Furiosa. The color palette stuff, as you say, makes it more dreamlike. So it's not as, I think because of the old one was made on low budget in the 80s, like it's more gritty now. I think at the time it seemed more kind of otherworldly, but now it just seems more like, the reason they're wearing shoulder pads is because that's what was left around and that's what they had to protect themselves. Whereas this has all that color and sheen. And like when they go to where like it suddenly gets dark and there's sort of crow-like people on sticks. It literally looks like something out of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous, but I love it that there are ridiculous things that I love, but partly because I'm laughing at it. I don't feel like I'm ever laughing at this film. I feel like this film is like, I've made something preposterous. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's made something incredibly spicy, but that is also delicious. And at the end, you're like, oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
It's
So,
it's a
yeah.
big, lovely, spicy dish.
Lovely recommendation, James. Thank you very much.
Well, David, at the end of that spicy dish of a conversation, I'm going to give you 3,000 points. 3,000 for you there on the scoreboard, meaning that I'm at 9,000 points. You are at 13,076 points. Things are heating up as we head into audience favourite and mine, round 5. What a time to be alive.
Round 5.
It's time for round 5, sponsored by round 3. James, round 5 is, of course, called To the Winner Goes the Spoilers, as in the back of a car.
That's very good. That's very good. That's very good.
Mad Max Fury Road was a magnificent film. So many amazing things went into making that film, so it was showered with accolades. Much like the bit at the end with the water pouring down. Showered with accolades. But, James, did Mad Max Fury Road win these awards? I'm going to tell you an award, and then you just have to tell me whether Mad Max Fury Road won the award or not.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Can you contain yourself?
No.
Okay, this is for 10,000 points a question. And I think you'll find these a little bit tricksy. Question number 1. Did Mad Max Fury Road win the Saturn Awards Best DVD or Blu-ray Special Edition release?
Yeah, I reckon it had some good special editions. I reckon it was a good Chrome box.
A Chrome box.
A Chrome box.
Do you know
Steel box.
George
like
Egg,
Chrome.
he does like food stuff. He's a comedian that also does he's called the food hacker, and he makes food in very inventive ways. He used the Terminator 2 tin box DVD to he heat that up to make a toasty.
Nice.
Pretty exciting.
That's good.
No, James, it was nominated, but it did not win. I don't
Ah,
know who won, but that is a shame. So 0 points to you there. Question number 2, James. Did Mad Max Fury Road win the Academy Award, Oscar himself, for Best Makeup and Hairstyling? Leslie Van der Vold, Elka Wardega, and Damien Martin.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Correct, James. That was one
Hey.
of 5 Oscars it won. It won 5 Oscars, which is 4 more Oscars than Suicide Squad.
Woo! Ah!
I still can't believe the film Suicide Squad won an Oscar.
Yeah. What against the Star Trek film for costume?
James, did Mad Max Fury Road win a BAFTA award for Best Pregnant Lady Car Chase Movie of the Year?
No, sadly, because there was already one in the works. It was a British movie, so they tend to kind of put that. It was Toby Jones in bony tones.
No, it was a British movie though. They did lose to She's Having a Baby 3 Tokyo Drift. So, but you still got it right. They did not win the BAFTA. Question number 4. Did Mad Max Fury Road win the Teen Choice Award for Scene Stealer, Nicholas Hoult? Did he steal that scene?
This was height of
Like a
dishy
scene
dishy
thief?
Nicholas Hoult. But
Scene thief.
Scene Stealer, I'm going to say no. I can't imagine this did well with the teenage market.
It was nominated, but it did not win. So correct.
Okay.
You saw through my little who's. And finally, James O'Donoghue. Question number 5. Did Mad Max Fury Road win Top Gear Magazine's Most Cars in a Film award?
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
James.
please.
It lost to Cars 3 Tokyo Drift. So you did not get that right. But you did pick up a fantastic amount of points. You were on 39,000 points. It is over to you for the final round, round 6, sponsored by round 4.
Round 6.
Well, David, as is always tradition here, round 6 is not presented by me, but a special guest that I've sourced. So I'm going to go and get him on the stream now. But be prepared. This is one of the freakiest dudes you've ever seen. This is a real radiated little creep. He's going to freak you right out, folks. So prepare yourself as we play Mutant Ben's Lingua Freaka. Ooh.
Oh, how exciting. The tension is building. I can only imagine that maybe some variety of technical issue has got.
G'day, David. I'm Mutant Ben. How we doing? Come on now, a little bit of focus. Oh, I see you're also wearing your wasteland cape as well. How nice. Yes, hello. I'm Mutant Ben. What's my mutation? Just IBS, really. That's a shame because I do like spicy food, and spice tends to mask the taste of lizard rat quite well. But all in all, I can't complain. Not like
You need
my
some
poor-
Colpermin.
Oh, probably do. Very good call back there. It's not. Some people have it worse. Like my poor brother-in-law. He's just a kneecap. Worst thing about that is he hates Irish language hip hop, so I can't even make that joke. I'll tell you what, they call me Muty Ben because I'm so mutated. Not because I can't speak, of course. Oh, it was bad news for my wife. She's constantly telling me to keep the noise down. But no, Linda, if you are listening, it's nice. It's nice that we're still together. 37 years, still strong. Anyway, David, out in the wildlands, we've developed our own dialect since the end of civilization. I'm going to give you some words. You're going to tell me what you think they mean. If you don't get the words right, then no worries, fellow. I really won't mind. All right. These are all worth 666 points. Number of the beast. Look, I'm a Presbyterian at the end of the day. You know, it's the church might have burnt down, but belief is something you carry in your hearts. Anyway, David, fang it. Fang, F-A-N-G, it. Is that a bit of wasteland slang?
Fang it.
It was misheard by quite a few audience members, and it led to complaints of homophobia. Now, of course, it's just because of how they misheard it. It is F-A-N-G. Although, I suppose maybe that's a note to the sound engineer that it was not well heard and caused offence. We don't want that. People are going to the cinema. They've saved up to see it, and so they should have.
Yes.
Yes, David, of course. That is a bit of wasteland slang there for everyone. So, well done. A doof warrior.
Doof warrior. I feel like that's somebody who defends EastEnders.
A doof. Oh,
doof,
he's there for doof. That's very good. I'm sorry, David. I can't give that. I would personally say, that would be a very good answer. Sadly, David, a doof warrior is an onomatopoeic term for electronic music with a heavy bass type, typically in 4x4.
Yes.
And it's the guy playing the guitar on the open top bus lorry as he's going through it, and then he gets killed, and you get that shot of the guitar going towards the camera. As I watched that first, I thought, was this meant to be a 3 bloody D? But I suppose not.
Yeah.
Anyway, Doof Warrior, he is that. Let me just check the rules of this. Is it true or false, or am I asking?
I got it wrong. That's fine.
No, you did get that wrong. No, I can't give you the points for that. I'm very sorry to say.
What a shame.
David, Guzzling.
Is that a character from Neighbours?
No, that's now we're cooking with gas. Or Guz. Guzzling.
I don't think it is.
Oh, David, it is how they say gasoline or petroleum in the Mad Max universe. So
Maybe I wasn't
again,
concentrating when I watched this film because I spent the whole time going, yeah!
David, can you tell me, is Black Thumb
I think it is.
any guesses of what a Black Thumb would be?
Is it somebody that has got? Oh, the people had the like
No,
face paint.
think about what happens if you have a green thumb.
You plant a lot of plants. Is it something
Yes,
to do with
so what would
oil?
make a thumb black in this universe?
Oil,
Particularly
soot.
oil. So, okay, how might one get a lot of oil and soot and muck on their hands?
They're thieves.
No, they're what's a main tenet of this franchise?
Australia.
Australia, yes, greatest nation in the world, but other than that,
Is it somebody with a car?
yeah, so someone who not drive the car but help the
Fixes the
car to
car?
drive. Yes, David, well done. I'm going to give you the points for that.
Mechanic?
A mechanic, absolutely. A mechanic, a Black Thumb. And Silver Bodgy.
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, I'm sorry, David. That's a fun nickname for former Prime Minister Bob Hawke. Well, David, at the thanks for the chat, mate. It was
Lovely to see
very,
you.
very lovely to meet you. I hope it goes well with the. Is it comedy that you're doing?
It is, yes. May I just say, you sort of look a bit like that picture of Pink Floyd when they're under their little blankets.
I've never seen a picture of anything before in my life. I did grow up after the end times. So all of this carry on here, this is all for a comedy podcast.
Oh, is it?
Is this all? No, I'm asking you. Is this all this
Oh,
carry
okay.
on?
I thought you were telling me, and I'm disassociating.
I wish I had the luxury of disassociation, mate. I really do.
Sorry. Yes, it is
Some
for a
of us
comedy
have got to
podcast.
catch rat lizards.
Mm-hmm. It's for a comedy podcast that I do.
Okay,
with,
mate.
a
I don't
person
know what that
against-
means, but I hope you have fun with it. Hooroo and witness me!
Well, wasn't that a nice guest?
What a lovely guy. I hope someone
mean-
does witness him.
Maybe the second best guest we've had. Maybe.
Oh, dear me. Of course, second best after Jonathan Thrice.
No! Jonathan Thrice is the worst character I've ever encountered in my life. James.
Oh, David. It's time.
Oh, I'm hosting this one. You look so. I mean, weirdly, as happened last time, as we just ended the episode, my
Oh,
dog
bloody hell.
in and been like, "Hello, I would like to give out the scores." Nala, would you like to give out the scores? I'm just going to use the mouse and not spill water. This is chaotic. Nala, can you say that I have 14,408 points? Woof. But James has won with a fantastic 39,000 points. Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Witness me, which means that James gets a blood transfusion from Tom Hardy.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
hope you're the same blood type.
Fucked if not.
Yeah, and I have to tell people within the first 10 minutes of meeting them that my favorite Mad Max film is the first one, which, I mean, a couple of episodes ago, I lost and received an alarm clock made of sandpaper. This might be worse.
You've had a bit of a run of it. Alarm clock made of sandpaper. You're the baronet of bedwetting. And
Yeah.
now and now you have to announce yourself like a shamed offender.
Yeah, but just to say that I really like the worst Mad Max film. Anyway, I mean, actually, it's the best one, but I've met you before, so I don't have to tell you. Anyway, James, if people have enjoyed watching the episode, they can follow us at Is This Enough Pod on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And they can join our Substack, so they can be part of our mailing list at Is This Enough Podcast at Substack. No, Is This Enough Pod.substack.com. And you can find me at David Hoare LOL on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. James, where can we find you on the internet?
So I've been James O'Donoghue. You can find me at isthatjamesO on Instagram and Let the James Begin on TikTok.
Hooray! James, do you think this has been enough?
You know what? I think it has.
Fantastic. We'll see you next time for more fun.